What's up, everybody? Welcome to another edition of the B-Side Podcast. Coming live directly at you, spitting and tripping off them words. Sometimes it's like that. Maybe I need to take a drink of my water. But anyway, got a great show for you today. Got your boy, one and only, G. Diddy, the black rap Republican. I don't understand it. He is Justice Thomas, a.k.a. Diddy Thomas. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we got a black Republican on the show. But you know him. Gary Combs is in the building. We're going to go off some topics, see what's going on. But in any case, stay tuned. Coming at you. Hit that subscribe and like button. Come on. B-Side Podcast. Let's go. What up, everybody? Thank you for tuning in. We are back at you. You know what he is. He got some crazy name. So, his name today is, first of all, I'm your host, Rob, Bobby, Sellers, B Cells. You know what it is. Anyway, like I said, we got a black Republican, Justice Thomas protege, and you know his name. If ice water was a person, it would be him. G. Diddy, what's up, my man? What's happening?
Nothing much, and I just want to say this is a high-tech lynching, as Justice Thomas once said to Anita Hill when she brought up some shit. This is a high-tech lynching. You're a Democrat, and the founder of the Democratic Party had about 157 slaves. Great legacy. Great legacy.
Philosophies again. You know and I know blacks tend to drift over to the party that has rights for us. And we know the Republicans are anti-black.
But where's that support got us? Where's that support got us for the last 50 years?
Excuse me?
The movements that have been made by black people have been outside of politics. It's not because of some political party. Investing your complete vote into the Democratic Party, I understand it, but why are we the only ones to do it? We're the only community that invests one vote into one party. I mean, I'm not against
Republicans, and then we switched over to the Democrats. Once when the civil rights bill passed, that's when the switchover happened. Black folks go to the party to where blacks get some type of power. I should say power. Something gets passed in our favor.
Well, for all of the inclusion that we've had with the Democratic Party, how many black senators are there? Like 11 since Reconstruction? Where did we get to design the bills? I mean, where's the movement for black people that has been beholden to Democrats? I mean, what have the Democrats done to help the black community that the black community didn't do themselves? If we improved education-wise, it's because we did it, not because of some political party. If we
the game is politics. We would have a lot more policies if black folks went out and voted.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, when people talk about, okay, well, Republicans don't do nothing, Democrats don't do nothing, why vote? The game is you have to pick a side. If we had enough people voting, maybe there would be another party. But right now, there's two dominant parties. Now, how do we affect the dominant? A party. How can I say it? How when blacks tend to lead towards one party or another, is because what can that party do for us? Right.
But it's time for the party to actually do something besides symbolic gestures for the black community. I understand why we invest our time and our energy into the Democratic Party, because they give black people voice. They supposedly listen to our concerns, and they do stuff to try to remedy. But when it comes down to it,
what policies do Republicans have for black people right now? What policies?
Nothing right now.
So why would we go to the Republican side?
But during the Trump administration, the Republican Party right now is pretty insane. But the Trump administration, at least during their time, were setting up what they call opportunity zones in economically disadvantaged areas. I don't know how effective it was, but supposedly that was one of his things that he put out there. he said he wanted to put out a program that brings in black engineers instead of us having
Well,
to bring in
what's the name of
engineers
that
from India.
program? What's the name of that program?
I, I don't know the name of the program, but that was a program that they put out there. So that's the only one
That
I
they
can think of right now.
that they talked about. But I didn't
Yeah.
see anything that was on the Senate floor or the House floor. All you have to just go to, what is it? Congress.gov. Go to Congress.gov, go to Congress.gov, and you'll see what bills are up there and who voted for them. You'll see them. You know?
And believe
So
me,
you'll see the bills and who voted for them.
yeah, believe me, I don't consider myself. I consider myself
A Republican.
the
You
same
say it.
thing.
You say
Nah,
you're not a
I
registered
can't. I
Republican
can't.
anymore?
No,
You're
I'm
not
not.
what's you
I
registered
can't.
as? Independent? What are you?
Yeah, I'm gonna
What
register as an independent because I can't associate myself with this insanity that's going on with the Supreme Court that's led by conservatives that would take away people's rights, not only take away a woman's right to choose, because we are the party of choice. We give a woman the right to choose to either cook or clean. So that's the one good thing about the GOP. We give
Wait a
women the
minute.
right to
Whoa,
choose
whoa,
to either
whoa, whoa.
cook,
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
clean.
Wait a minute.
I'm just
What did you
kidding.
just say?
No, I'm
What
just
did you say?
kidding. I'm just kidding. But in all honesty, I can't support a party or a Supreme Court that would knowingly take away people's rights like it's Stalin in the 1930s or 1920s and reducing people's rights and think it's okay. And then when it comes to student loans, instead of helping people get on the new economic footing or whatever, they choose to screw the people over. And, you just got to have some humanity. And conservatism in the past 40 years, in a lot of cases, hasn't been about humanity. It's been about judgment. It's been about doing
Power.
whatever's going to serve corporate
It's
interest.
power.
Yeah, but unfortunately, the Democrats aren't rough enough. They ain't tough enough. They ain't no Lyndon B. Johnson Democrats anymore. I mean, Biden ain't no Lyndon B. Johnson. Lyndon B. Johnson was an arm breaker.
He's Joe Biden. Of course he's not gonna be Johnson. He's Biden. Why
You
would he
got to
be
be
a Johnson?
Johnson.
He's a Biden.
You get a whole lot more stuff done if he was Johnson.
How we know that? You know how many years ago that's been? But see this what gets me, man. I honestly think when people talk about politics or try to talk about politics, they're clueless. And also, I think we don't know nothing about civics. We need civics 101 training again. Because people, when you think about it, right, if you just talk to people in general about politics, I like to say, just having human interaction with one another is politics. You hear people, I don't delve with politics. Yes, you do. Everything is politics. Everything is political. From your friends to family to cliques to work, social settings. Even if you're alone or by yourself, you do your own thing. Any interaction is politics with people. Politics. I like to say politics, but it's all politics. And then we just don't understand, I think, civics 101, right? Everything is political, right? But people just act like it's just a Super Bowl, meaning it's just the presidential election. No, you do have state elections and you have local elections. Anyway, we'll get into politics.
And all of it's important.
We'll get into politics, but you know how we always start off the show, just piggybacking off some of the shows that I see and some of the podcasts that I follow. So I always like to start off the show, food for thought, just a thinking, or if you can communicate what has been on your mind these past few days.
What has been on my mind?
Well, what's been heavy on your mind the past few days, or even past hour, whatever the case may be? What has been heavy and thick on your mind?
The whole submersible thing and people diving down to go see the Titanic. I think that's pretty crazy, and people shouldn't, be thrill seeking and to try to do some kind of tourism like that. I mean, you're going down 13,000 feet to go pretty much see a funeral. I don't know. It's not too heavy on my mind, but I just think that's pretty crazy for people to go in a little tiny submarine with a video game controller to go see the Titanic. That's insane.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. I mean, first of all, I'm not getting that water anyway. I don't do cruises, nothing like that. I take that back. I've done cruises around harbors. That's about it. But I'm not going deep in that ocean. We don't know what's out there. And then also, you can see something. I'm sure there's some programming like on Discovery Channel or some other these networks where you can actually see footage of professionals going down there, diving, and the whole description of the Titanic. I don't know why we're so, how can I say it? We're so embroidered with that as far as the Titanic. Hey, there's programs to see all that. But some people, when you got a lot of money, you think you're invincible. So
that's crazy. The inventor died in that accident. The inventor and the CEO of that submersible.
Yeah, it's crazy. But my thought is this, right? We drive or whatever the case may be. So with all this driving and all that, you see certain neighborhoods, see certain zoning. You definitely see the zoning of how housing is being constructed. And there was a stat that I seen on one of the stories on Instagram or on YouTube or whatever the case may be, a little story, a little clip or whatever. And it was saying that as far as homeowners, they broke down the percentages as far as black homeowners is around 40%, right? Euro Americans, since we're African Americans, we'll call them Euro Americans. You know who you are. Euro Americans, that's 77% are homeowners, right? 77% of homeowners are Euros. So we all know just numbers wise, which I think a lot of the Euro Americans don't understand, that pretty much all low numbers are in the Euro American community, meaning that there's more poor Euro Americans than any other race because just numbers, right? So I'm sitting here, especially in California. Now, Ohio, where I'm from, you can see them. You can see where they live. But where are the poor white folks, poor Euro Americans living at out here?
I don't know, maybe in the desert towns.
You don't see them. You my fault. I got to turn down this on the pro. It's like, okay, where you know where exactly where the poor black folks live. You see exactly where the poor Latinos live. You see exactly where the poor Asians live. Middle Eastern too. Every race. Well, if you want to find the natives, I haven't been to a reservation, but there's reservations out here, I'm sure. I'm sure they don't have street roads and signs and stuff like they should. They're supposed to be immaculate palaces out here. Just because we're sorry. Their streets should be paved with gold just because we're sorry. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to be funny, but it's for real. I mean,
that's a Rush Limbaugh moment.
You've paid everybody.
A Rush Limbaugh moment.
But they should have street lights of gold, everything. Like, we're sorry. Okay? We're sorry. You should never have no want. For real. But then it's just like, so then I'm sitting around like, this is crazy. And you can see it. It's segregation is everywhere. Because what is it? Especially for African Americans, if we move into if African American moves into a Euro American neighborhood, it only has to get up to 7% black or some other colors. You see the white flight. 7%, if that. Probably lower number than that. 7%. Oh shit, dear. We have to go. They're invading. So it's like, because the reason why I say that, because you start seeing issues, man. You just see it, man. It's like all the housing, everybody's close together, meaning the minority neighborhoods. All that, everybody's close together. There's no parking. You know, shit's not lit up. But you go in these other areas, obviously. Hey, I'm not saying what you need to do with your money, but they have none of those problems. None of those problems. So I'm just saying, it's like, so that's just my food for thought right now. It's like, where are the poor Euros living at out here?
Probably in the desert towns.
Only I can see them out here in Orange County, maybe. Well, hell, you got to pay for them. It's the trailer parks.
Yeah. That still costs something to get one of those.
But it still costs money. And a lot of them are pretty nice inside. You know what I mean? You might see a couple others like, ooh, okay, okay. Is it safe? But they're gated up. So
yeah.
You know, you got to get a code to get in some of them. But that's just been on my mind. Like, damn.
Well, that's understandable because a lot of stuff comes from home ownership. You're able to finance your dreams off home ownership. You're able to finance your child's education, and that's the one of the American dreams to own a home. And you know, the thing is, to have access to getting a home, you have to have access to the economic power to acquire a home. You got to, you know, have enough money to make those monthly payments or make whatever payment, pay the taxes. And sometimes we're not put in the financial position as far as employment to even save up enough money to get a house. So that's why certain people in the community are set back even before it happens. And a lot of people will inherit some property. Some people in the, you know, what you said, the Euro community.
Euro Americans.
Well, Euro American community.
European Americans. Euro Americans.
Yeah. The Euro American community will inherit property. So, you know, but it's all about what you invest your money in. You got to invest your money in real estate because real estate is going to be something that always appreciates. But the thing is, we got to have the economic power to acquire real estate. And if we can't get it through the regular workforce, we got to create our own economic base. I mean, I've said before that, you know, Black people are people with a lot of influence, but don't get to financially benefit from that influence. And, you know, if somebody saw a Black clothing designer was worth something and invested in it, like, you know, I'm wearing a Michael Kors, you know, Michael Kors has a lot of people wearing the stuff. If somebody saw something, didn't treat it like a FUBU, fad clothing. Michael Kors? Yeah, I support Kors. No, not Kors. I support Kors, the drink. Yeah, I support the drink. But
okay.
This is Michael Kors right
here. So you supporting him?
Nah.
Yeah, you bought his. Yeah.
No, I didn't buy it.
Hey, man, I ain't tripping off of that, man, because, hey, you know what I'm saying? Tom Ford got some nice shit out there. You know, I might not agree with everything he got, but.
Yeah, I don't agree.
Nice shit out there, you know what I'm saying? Got some the cologne, the glasses, and the shoes. You know what I mean? I'm all good. I'm all good with the alphabet community in that aspect. You know what I'm saying?
What did Tom Ford get, $1 billion deal?
I don't know.
He sold his brand for like $1 billion.
He got some nice shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Shout out to the alphabet community. You know what I mean? Hey, we all, some things like anything. I support some things that all the African Americans do, but sometimes I don't. So it's all good. It's all good. You know what I mean? It's all good. But speaking on just building off what you're saying about you know, financial situations here. Obviously, if you haven't been paying attention, the month of June, a lot of times that's when a lot of the Supreme Court cases come into play. Meaning that's when they partake in cases, get their judgment out there, and then what is it? They're written, not consultations. What is it that they always have after certain? I can't think of the right name.
Dissertations,
yes. You know, obviously when they rule on a case, they have their writings, whatever, and you can go ahead and, you know, read those or whatnot. But we all know definitely the main case as far as how they stripped affirmative action from, you know, schools, meaning that you know, they took away that affirmative action as far as people getting into schools. And what trips me out once again, we all know affirmative action benefited
white women,
Euro-American women. Where are they at in the streets? Where they at?
They-
Where's the rioting and the protesting at, Euro-American women? Where y'all at?
Why would there be protests when they make up the majority of the workforce?
Well, that's beneficial to them. So it was something
And
that helped them
they
out.
got even more positions in Fortune 500 companies.
And they got taken away. So where y'all at in the street? Where's the protesting at? Where y'all at?
I don't think you'll see much protesting.
You're not going to. Wait a minute. Hold on. Where is it? Where y'all at? So obviously, we're gonna get back to my main thing. But obviously, once again, what I'm saying is, so African Americans are the only ones who can protest and riot, right? We're the only ones.
We're the only ones concerned.
Okay. So, with that said, it was an interesting point, man, where basically, I'm piggybacking off my man Roland Martin here. A lot of this is going to affect definitely African Americans and minorities, probably women too, on getting in certain schools. So a lot of times you're going to see, obviously, during the pandemic, when the George Floyd situation was going on, you've seen an upgrade, or I should say, an intake of students going to HBCUs. Now, there's 107 HBCUs, right? And there's only shout out to Wilberforce out there. Shout out to Wilberforce. You can always contribute to the Dr. Lee Sellers Scholarship in tune with Wilberforce College. We'll bring up that information. And then, my man went to Xavier University out there in Louisiana. So once again, right, we was talking about funding, and I'm definitely going to do some more promoting for my scholarship that I have for Sellers Foundation, the Dr. Lee Sellers Scholarship, because this is going to affect us. So therefore, we've seen how just during the George Floyd incident where the enrollment levels went up, and because of those enrollment levels went up at HBCUs, they weren't prepared to receive those students. So we have to now put our money back into our institutions so we can help our kids. Because like I said, there's only 107 HBCUs, and there's only 237,000, I want to say, students at HBCUs. 20% are non-black. However, there's 1.6 million African-American students at PWI schools. So even a small percentage of that, we're not ready to handle them in the HBCUs. So we have to pour in our money and help out these institutions, right? Just in case this might happen where they suddenly get more enrollment because the schools that they try to attend to, meaning the PWIs, now that has been stricken down as far as the affirmative action on student enrollment, where people think don't go. Community schools, HBCU. So we have to be prepared for that. So how do you feel about this as far as a Supreme Court ruling on wiping out affirmative action with student enrollment at certain universities?
Like it was said, it benefited other people other than African Americans. And with affirmative action, I mean, does it benefit the African American student? Because you have students from Africa that are getting to an Ivy League college. You have more African students that are getting to an Ivy League college without affirmative action than African Americans that get there with affirmative action. So I believe we are in the position where we can get into any school that we want to. If you have the economic base to get in there, I don't know. I would think that it's way more discriminatory maybe 40 years ago, 50 years ago. But I think if you have the economic base to get in one of these Ivy League schools, that it would be less discriminatory than when these practices begin. Do I believe that these companies should be pushed to have inclusiveness? I do, but I'm just trying to see how well it works, because there's still a small percentage of black people in Fortune 500 boardrooms, still a small percentage of black people in a lot of boardroom jobs. So I'm just trying to see where it works. Is it an antiquated model? Does it really work? Does it benefit the African American community? If the African American community as a whole is being outweighed by how it benefits Euro American women, then is it really helping? Because black people or African Americans account for maybe 4 or 5% of Fortune 500 CEO positions. So we need to find some other model to get included into this workforce instead of just something that just hands out crumbs to
Well,
be satisfied with.
I don't know about hand out crumbs, but I mean, there's been, if you speak to people, a lot of people, certainly my family benefited from affirmative action. I know my brother got into Berkeley because of that. I know I got a scholarship at Colorado State because of that. So it has benefited people. I mean, you hear the stories
Hmm.
out there. So the main thing is, this is how do we pivot? This is another wake up call. How do we pivot? Okay, yeah, okay, we seen the ruling. That don't mean like, okay, so what do we do now? Obviously, we had to do some more voting. Black folks get out there and vote so that we can put people in position who maybe judges in the position who we maybe go back and we can reverse it again. However, Biden needs to expand the courts. Say he won't do it. So the whole thing is, how are we going to pivot? So it goes to the point, like, what's the main thing that we always say? You know what I'm saying? Stay ready so you have to get ready, right? So we have to start, like, the pivot is like, wait a minute, wake up call. Our institutions, let's help them just in case our kids want to go back to them. Let's go back to them. And that's what we're doing with the Sellers Foundation and the Dr. Lee Sellers Scholarship. Yes, the Dr. Lee Sellers Scholarship is a scholarship that we're helping out Wilberforce University, one of the original privately funded Black institutions, where we're giving out scholarships to students enrolled there where that can help them. They can use that money, however it is, towards their own personal use, towards the school, towards book, whatever the case may be. Any type of help, we're going to give out. So definitely tune into thesellersfoundation.com. Obviously, in this situation, we got to bring more awareness to our scholarship. And also, if we get enough money, obviously, we can expand this current fall season. We have definitely provided 2 scholarships in the amount of $2,500 each. Like I said, we're just starting out. And so, therefore, we're going to put ourselves out there even more because of the situation that's going down. We're trying to make the right pivot so we can uplift our kids in our community. So therefore, we seen this ruling. Let's take action. And our action is we're going to have the Dr. Lee Sellers Scholarship out there. You can go to IG, Instagram, the Dr. Lee Sellers Scholarship. And we have to do some things to help our institutions. And that's what we're doing with the Sellers Foundation. So, hey, that's all I'm saying is let's make the right pivot instead of just standing there like, and panicking. No, okay. The Supreme Court justices, they made their decision. The schools, they've already taken action. So therefore, what do we do next? We don't have to get validation from them to be successful in life.
And like you said, we always got to know how to pivot because things have been taken away in this past 6 months that we thought were pretty much codified law or just set in stone. Like who would have ever thought that Roe versus Wade would have fallen in our lifetime? That would have been just like an afterthought, like about 20 years ago. Would have been unheard of that Roe versus Wade would have fallen and women not get the right to choose. And just what we have with the student loan crisis going on. Who would think that a Supreme Court would choose to work against the people instead of working for the people? Instead of working against the country and giving people a new economic upliftment or a new economic beginning, that chose to look the other way. And that's just so they wouldn't let the other side have a win or get a win. And that's how the politics are. One side isn't for helping the people as a whole. I mean, the other side doesn't help the other side because it affects the 2-year cycles of campaigning. So you don't have any of these political parties working on anything to get anything done because if somebody gets a win, then that helps the other side in their campaign cycle. So I think it's up to the people to hold these politicians' feet to the fire instead of just accepting a nice speech from them where they're talking shit about the other side. They should demand something concrete and solid. And unfortunately, the people that demanded something concrete and solid is what these conservatives want to do with their social programming, and it's coming to life. Social programming from conservatives that's been mentioned for the past 40 years is coming to pass. It's been talked about for the past 20 years that they're going to chip away in Roe versus Wade by installing the right Supreme Court justices, and it came to pass. And that affects generations. We're going to have a conservative court for the next couple of generations,
That's why
and
we
that
need to
means
expand
something.
the court. That's why we need to expand it. Because
Yeah.
come on, what are we okay, getting to conserve. What are they conserving? What is it that are conserving?
Well, it's not really. It's actually working against conservatism because
What is
conservatism is all
conservatism?
about
What is when they say
conservatism
what is it?
is government taking its hand out of what is it, free enterprise or not free enterprise, but not less government involvement over your life. Like what they're doing is government involvement over your life. Like taking away a woman's right to choose.
Exactly.
That's the least conservative. That's the least conservative thing you can do because you're actually infringing on somebody's right, somebody's personal right. So what is seen as conservatism isn't being practiced today. I mean, conservatism means being fiscally sound or whatever, and fiscal conservatism has been going on for what 40 years, or since the late 80s or whatever. So it's all just wordplay. They'll say they're conservatives, but you know, be beholden to big business. You know, be beholden to corruption just like anybody else. So it's just all about who's going to cheerlead for your money. It's going to
But
be the left or the right.
we're not paying attention. You know, like you said, they've been planning this out for a long time. And it goes back to voting. It goes back to voting. The reason why they're able to do this because they got Republicans in the seats necessary to make these rules. If we came out and voted, we wouldn't be in this position. So all that talk about voting don't matter. Yes, it does. Yes, we're seeing it right now. How can you say it's not? How can you say it's not?
Definitely matters.
It matters.
Matters with every aspect of your life.
Voting matters if you got a pothole in your street. Who's on the school boards? Who's your mayor? Who, especially for us, who's the district attorneys? Who's the judges? Supreme Court judges, federal judges. That's all from Congress. Congress, meaning the senators, hold that remark. So if you got a whole bunch of Republicans in there, conservatives, look what happens. Look what just happened. Look at what's happening now. So all that, hey, fellas, people out there, got to play in the game. This is part of the so-called United States of America. You have to decide on what political party you're going to choose so that you can vote to make things happen in your area, locally, state, federally. Once again, Civics 101. You can vote in who is the mayor. That controls your police department in your area. Like I said, local judges, district attorneys, school board, all that is voting. Then it moves up from local, like I said, from local, state, federal. Go to congress.gov. Go to the whitehouse.gov. Since people are like, oh, Biden ain't did nothing, Biden ain't done nothing for the black agenda, go to the whitehouse.gov. Go to whitehouse.gov and you'll see it. And I want to say they have segments in there as far as what the White House done and his the Biden administration done for black policies, things of that nature. Go to whitehouse.gov. Go to congress.gov. You can go to the Supreme Court.gov. People, this is the information age. You have to do your research and find out what works for you. All the information you're needing, seeking, no one's coming to your door and knocking out like, hey, John, here's all the information that you wanted. You have to do the research yourself. You got it right here. Shout out to my droids. Forget you Apple heads. Shout out, your phones are right here. You got a mini computer. We got to stop this ignorance, man. There's no way around it. In the United States, the game is politics, meaning pick a party and vote. Okay. That's what I say. And then
Come over to the Republican Party.
Then also, see, and I thought he said he wasn't promoting the Republican Party. But then also,
and the radical Republicans.
Also, you guys, I thought I had it up in here, but I don't bring it up. Anyway, Republicans in Wisconsin are targeting minority scholarships after this affirmative action ruling by the Supreme Court. So Wisconsin, it's trickle-down effect with these. Once one state triggers another, all those other states as in the corners will trigger their laws too. So like I said, Missouri went on the attack the day the court ruled, and Wisconsin may be next. So Republicans are now targeting minority scholarships. Wake up call. Once again, now we have our institutions. And then, hey, what they say? Hit them where the money is. So all you athletes out there, for instance, Wisconsin, don't go to Wisconsin University now. I don't know why we going to Texas University, because it's Abbott. Don't go there. University of Florida.
Don't go to Ohio State.
I'll say it. Don't go to Ohio State. We got a Republican governor. They acted up. Don't go to Ohio State. Now with the NIL money, now with technology, the cream always rises to the top. You don't have to really go to these big universities. It'll help you, no question. However, but look at what's going on. There's not that. Now think about it though. Think about it. You got to look after fellow mates or fellow African Americans, right? Now, there's affirmative action if you apply, but if you're an athlete and if you're in the military, that doesn't apply. So look what they're doing. So if you can shoot that ball, shoot that gun, you're more than welcome. But if you can't do that, we're not going to accept you. So we have to start doing things now like, okay, we have our institutions, athletes. I was ignorant when I was coming up on that. You know what I mean? I wasn't checking out knowing, but now it's out here now. So look at Abbott. We're seeing in California, they're shipping all these immigrants on buses to California now. All over the places, but out here, we're seeing the information, we're seeing the results. So, do you really want to support Texas? When their governors doing things like this? Do you want to go to the University of Wisconsin? We see the governors doing things like this? Do you want to go to Ohio State? It hurts my heart, but hey, got to stand on something when the state is doing bogus shit. Go ahead. I'm sorry, I went off on a little tangent. Your feelings on this?
That's all right. Well, the reason that they're being brought over here to California is because they're being brought to so-called sanctuary cities. So that's the reason that Abbott is using that policy to use that excuse, but it's really inhuman.
I'm glad you said that. Go ahead, my bad.
Seriously.
I got to stick to the code.
No, honestly, Governor Abbott and what DeSantis.
I got to stick to the code. I can't be interrupting. And when I'm saying that's a code system concept, I nearly feel the compensatory counter-racist code book. And on the code, when somebody's talking, can't interrupt them regardless what they say. My fault on that. But get your book. ProduceJustice.com. All right, go ahead.
Yeah, but what they're doing is inhuman. They're playing, games with people's life. They come over here for a better opportunity and to get away from sometimes a really detrimental situation. And to be used as a political football is pretty sick. And I think it's one of the many missteps that Governor DeSantis is making, even though he might eventually be the nominee. And that should be troublesome to people, because I think he has the ability to be the nominee, because he's not your average Donald Trump type. You can't be put in that box. He's a Yale-educated lawyer, and he's a military man, and he has a lot of influence. And unfortunately, some of it isn't the greatest thing. He has his war on the woke, whatever that is. It can't even be clearly defined.
Damn, I'm going against the code. My bad.
Oh, that's no problem. Well, they won't define what the woke is. Is the woke the black agenda, or is the woke the alphabet agenda? He won't put a concrete stamp on what it is.
Woke is anti-black.
That's what I think of when I hear somebody saying Florida's where woke comes to die.
Criminals.
Where else can you get from that?
Criminals, rapists, murders, anti-black.
Yeah, what can you draw from Florida is the home where woke comes to die? What does that mean?
We know what it means. Florida's a home. You
Exactly.
black folks act up, pow, pow, bang, bang, 9mm, out of here.
Yeah. So it's sick. You got to fully invest yourself in politics, or you'll end up in a position that people are going through, like you're saying, scholarships are being targeted. Stuff that should be, given to people without a problem is under attack because people want to limit inclusion instead of expand inclusion. And that's the problem with, them taking the affirmative action away in some of these Ivy League universities. Will they revert back to the discriminatory policies as far as race? Because these Ivy Leagues are where the future leaders of not just America, but the world come from. So there's got to be a deep set analyzation that there's policies still put in place that fight discrimination. There still has to be policies put in place that fight discrimination and promote inclusion, even though affirmative action is gone. And people got to invest themselves in the political system, not just 4 years, but every 2 years, because you can affect change to where you're not sitting in the position that we're in, losing rights that people thought were codified in law. Because, these political parties only move where the money moves. Conservatives move a certain way because that's what the investors tell them to do. Liberals move a certain way because that's where George Soros tells them to move.
Is he still hasn't got kicked out?
His son's taking over. He's y'all's new investor.
Well, wait a minute. No, what's the one? Wait a minute. I'm thinking maybe I got the names mixed up. Who's the one? Not Rubio. Who's the one out there just lying? What's his name? One who's lying. One who's dressed up drag queen and all that shit too. What's his name?
Oh, DeSantos?
Not him. The other
DeSantos.
one.
Santos?
Santos.
I think it's Santos. Yeah.
Santos. Yeah, man. What happened to him? Nothing?
Nothing. It just when, probably got a blouse or something like that on sale.
Yeah. So once again, people, and like I said, I'm gonna put it out there because of this. You can cash out the Sellers Foundation, PayPal, Rob Sellers at the Sellers Foundation, Venmo at the Sellers Foundation. Let's pour in some money into these scholarships to help out these kids at our institutions. It's now we can't wait any longer, fellas. We can't wait. And like I said, even a small percentage of the 1.6, I want to say, the 1.6 million students at PWIs, if they like, you know what, this is enough, I'm transferring. We have to build up our institutions to handle these students, and that's one thing that we got to do, and one thing we got to stick up. Now it's time to make our pivot. They made the decisions. We seeing it. We got to move faster too, fellas. We can't wait. We're smarter than that. We have to make adjustments on the fly. We survived this long. But with that being said, if for whatever reason you are going through any mental crimes, it's okay to seek out and get help. It's okay. Vulnerability is a strength. Talking to someone might help you out. Getting what's off your chest, off your mind, might help you out to be the person you're supposed to be. It's time that we let all that negativity out. Be aware that, yes, I could be affected. Maybe my mental health is going sideways. But in any case, you can always go to Marcel Wellness Center, Marcel Consulting and Mental Health Services.
The B-Side podcast is sponsored by Marcel Consulting and Mental Health Services. Has this pandemic and our current state of the world taken a toll on you? Are you enjoying life? Marcel Consulting and Mental Health Services are here to help. We provide services from individual counseling, family counseling, life coaching and anger management to domestic violence. Our goal is to improve the lives of individuals and families by having a safe place to speak up, speak out, and live. Ask about our 30-minute consultation trial session. Whether you are insured or not, we have an installment payment option. contact us at marcelconsulting.com at 909-323-7100. Remember to speak up, speak out, and live. marcelconsulting.com.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. I'll take a little break, but we're back. So, hey, if you have mental problems because your girl's getting on your nerves, if you're having mental problems because your dude is getting on your nerves, Marcel Consulting Mental Health Services. Check us out. So, we're going to move over to a couple things that if you didn't even know, as far as, we're sports fans here. Some of the things that's going on, obviously, the sports, and also with the NBA. If you don't know, a lot of movement, free agency time, new signings, see all types of things coming out about the NBA, no question like that. So, you know what I mean? There's a couple things that's going on in the NBA that, we might say something back, but, let's see. Yes, in the news today, I should say on this episode of the news, Puma and Thundercats have gotten together to make some exclusive sneakers here. You know, that Mellow Boy, Pumas is doing all right. I'm seeing my kids. I do coach at Catella High School. We're taking sponsorships. You can always go to Catella Basketball, Anaheim, Unified School Districts. Anyway, we're taking donations. But anyway, I see a lot of my kids with these Mellows on, no question. So I know Puma's making a comeback. But with these, Puma and the Thundercats have hooked up for some of these nice shoes. I'm feeling some of these, man. I might have to just get a pair just to rep Thundercats. You know what I mean?
You gotta get the Panthros.
You like the Panthros?
You gotta get the Panthros because that was Bill Cosby's daddy on the Cosby Show voicing Panthro. And you gotta get the Mumra, the Ever Living, because he's the villain. He's the Egyptian mummy and shit like that. So he might be a black man under there. Mumra, the Ever Living.
Hey, there it is, the Panthros. Those look nice. And ladies, we haven't forgotten about y'all. Chitara, is it Chitaras?
Chitara.
There it is,
Chitara.
The two.
Tigro. It's Tigro, Chitara, Lionel, Mumra, and Panthro.
I forgot all the names, but that's why we have the Black Encyclopedia here. That is another name for G Diddy too. But look at this, man. I'm these colorful shoes, they starting to get liking on me. You know what I mean? First I was like, a lot of colors out here, but I see how they work. You know what I mean? I'm gonna have to get me some of these because, for all y'all out there, we'll get into it. But OC Orangemen, look out for that. OC Orangemen, AAU team, and then Skill Set Center too, coming at you. OC Orangemen. Just think about that. We're getting there almost. But anyhow, yeah, so I'm gonna have to get me some nice sneakers too to, stay hip and up to date. And then, when I'm showing these kids moves, I gotta be looking smooth too. Oh, bars, hit it, boom. Anyway, when I be hitting these kids on the move, I gotta be looking smooth. Anyway, yeah. Oh shit.
No, sorry.
Yeah. So, hey, man, I'm feeling these shoes, man. I'm feeling these, man. I'm definitely feeling them. I like those, man.
I'm gonna get those Mumras. Just go. That's how Mumras. So you do when you get the Mumras.
Yes. So that's something that I like to do in the new. And also, if you didn't know, as of July 1st, the NBA contract allowing players to smoke that cheeba, the ganja, you know what I mean? That wacky tobacco, the reefer, you know what I'm saying? All that goodness, the goodness of the plant, the plant that was given to us by the Most High.
Sin, they no one test by man sin.
Jean bless.
Smoking this spliff sin.
Rastafari. Shout out to Selassie.
Then I want rock what I
Yes, them,
sin.
man. Yes, man. Yes, man. So that, man. You know, don't ask me where that.
Smoke a little bit of sin.
Don't ask me where that came there, man. You know, the NBA contract there, man. Allow players to smoke. The ganja goes into effect. It went into effect, I want to say, on July 1st. Yes, the National Basketball Association has removed cannabis from its list of banned substances under a new contract, the CBA, that allows the league's players to smoke weed and invest in cannabis companies. Obviously, the CBD. Probably some of them silent partners, but definitely CBD. They can come out and advertise that. However, for some of the weed companies out there, they're backing off a little bit, probably silent partners or whatever the case may be. But the new collective bargaining, which was ratified by the NBA and the National Basketball Players Association in April, went into effect on Saturday, this past Saturday, July 1st, and will be in place through the next contract, which is 2029-2030 season. Yes, on Friday, the league announced, and the players union announced, once again, unions, 14% increase in pay when you're in union, whether to a non-union. Okay, let's get back to it. Just some facts out there. Some actual factuals. Shout out to Craig Facts out there. Love them guys. But anyway, on Friday, this past Friday, the league and players union announced that the final long-form version of the new collective bargaining agreement, CBA, has been completed and signed. The terms of the new CBA had previously been reflected in a short-form memorandum and agreement. So yes, under the new contract, cannabis will be removed from the NBA's list of banned substances. The agreement also ends marijuana screening for players, giving them the opportunity to smoke marijuana and use cannabis products without fear of reprisal. Although players will be permitted to use cannabis and no longer be tested for weed, the new contract does have some limitations. Athletes will not be permitted to be high at games, practices, or other team functions, and cannabis use that become problematic will still be subject to action from the league. There it is. And also, the agreement also notes that the NBA and teams may impose reasonable discipline on players who are under the influence while engaged in any team activity or in violation of the law. So that's a good thing, man. We come on. Sometimes
That's a great thing.
yeah, sometimes anxiety kicks in. You know what I mean? A lot of things happen. So I mean, come on. It's about time. Shout out to the NBA on that and that decision. Now cats might be playing better now.
Yeah.
Be.
I mean that's big. Because it helps anxiety. It's good for pain management. But our laws that we have in this country towards marijuana are draconian as it is. It started back in the 1930s as a means of staving off the money that Mexicans were bringing over because they were selling weed in the 1930s over here, and they were making money during the Depression. So America got jealous of that and made a weed to where you could only get it if you had a certain stamp, and nobody was able to get the stamp. So they took it to the courts, and after that, it became illegal and put on the same schedule as heroin. And there's been so many unnecessary prison sentences, long prison sentences, and just a waste of taxpayers' dollars, just locking people up over this thing that is about as harmful as alcohol. I mean, alcohol is way more harmful, is responsible for way more deaths, and puts a person in more of a detrimental state of mind than somebody smoking weed. So I think it's big whenever they chip away at anything that takes away this unnecessary stigma off of marijuana. I mean, of course they should stop if it affects their play, but it's not like they weren't doing it anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, some people need it for pain management. I've never done it before in my life.
Well, for pain management?
No, I've never smoked any weed before in my life.
Oh no, you're Republicans.
What I just heard.
You're a Republican, so well, you say you're allegedly. I don't know. Today you're Republican. Tomorrow you're not. But I believe it.
Hey, you're Democrat, Robert Byrd, Democrat. You know who Robert Byrd is? Speaker of the House.
No.
The Grand Dragon of the Ku Klux Klan.
No.
Democrat.
No.
President Clinton's mentor.
Oh, stop it! Stop. He's a
That's what he
deflector. That
said.
shows what he really is, a Republican. They love
Hey,
deflecting.
I'm just saying,
Mm-hmm.
y'all have most of the slave owners as y'all's founders.
Damn. Damn.
Our
New
platform was
time.
to end slavery.
New time.
But we just
New
gotta. I want you colored people to join me and start a new Republican Party, the Radical Republicans. And if you don't know who the Radical Republicans were, they're the Republicans during the Abraham Lincoln time that didn't want just a little bit of rights for black people. They wanted the whole shit. When Abraham Lincoln just wanted to set black people free and give a couple of the educated ones the right to vote, the Radical Republicans were like, no, give them the complete right to vote, complete economic inclusion. And that's what we got to fight for, economic inclusion, whether it be with the liberals or whatever they call themselves, because I don't want to insult them by calling them men or women or anything like that, because I don't know what, was the right thing to apply to them and stuff like that. But join us in this new Republican Party so we can get these crazy bastard conservatives out of here, because they've only been there during the Reagan time. The guy that got the conservatives in the Republican Party just recently passed away. His name was Pat Robertson. And
Pat Robertson.
he's the main reason that conservatives have influence in the Republican Party. So let's get back to the middle of the road, the moderates, the Colin Powell moderates. Let's make a comeback. We're gone right now, but we're going to make a comeback.
Are you sure?
No.
Are you sure?
So you voting for Joe? You voting for Joe in the next election? He should be about 85.
Man, I'm voting for Cornell.
I'll vote for Cornell too.
I'm voting for Cornell. I'm here, Cornell West. Shit. You know what I mean? But anyway,
Cornell will tell Putin to be a peaceful brother.
Anyway, stick it on the NBA. Stick it on the NBA, man. How do you how like your pickups in your free agency?
Grant Williams?
He's a Dallas Maverick, Dallas Fabric.
We got Grant Williams. Locked him down to a 4-year, $54 million deal. We got Kyrie back, $42 million a year. We got the young and Blake Lively the second, coming straight to the pros and shit like that. It's just going to be a return to the finals. That's all that is. We got Hardaway Jr. in the mix. It's just we're going to be returning to the finals, and the Cavs just going to be watching us from the living room, because they have about as much a chance of going to the playoffs as the Detroit Lions. Speaking of the Detroit Lions, did you know this is the strange thing about the Detroit Lions?
What I thought we was on NBA here.
We are.
Okay.
We are, but this is just a quick, crazy fact about the Detroit Lions. President Kennedy has only missed one Detroit Lions playoff game.
Who?
President Kennedy.
That's a joke.
The Detroit Lions, 1957 playoffs, 1991. That's it.
I'm gonna leave that alone. That's too much for me. Okay, so you are happy with your pickups?
Yes.
Okay, that'll work. Yeah, I'm happy with ours too. I'm with my Cavaliers. I like who we picked up, Max, my man, Niang, and then even we picked out somebody from Gold State. You know what I mean? What's that dude's name? Ty Jerome. You know what I mean? Hey, it's all right. I like some of the moves we did. We re-signed, LeVert. You know what I mean? He is a LeVert R&B OJ's LeVert. He is a LeVert Cleveland zone.
Damn.
So I'm glad. Yeah, I'm glad he even though he went to Michigan, but I'm glad that we re-signed him and got some nice little pickups, man. I like how we Karis LeVert, that's his name. I'm glad how we we stretched the court now with some shooters, which I like. Even Isaiah Mobley, like him picking up. Like I said, George's Niang. I like how that pickup goes. Strus from Miami. Liked all that. I was kind of upset, my man, with CD, but hey, man, he was there long enough, man. He I don't know. After a while, the potential has to leave. You got to start doing some damage on the court. That's just my belief.
Yeah.
You know, I like how, you know, Max Struess. I like that pickup. You know what I mean? So it's been interesting, man. I like what's going on. Um, some. I'm tripping off the contracts. There's no way I would have thought Halliburton would have got $52 million in Indiana.
Shit.
My
What
man,
about LaMelo Ball?
I mean, yeah, him too. He got a max. Now
260.
my man up in Minnesota. He got a max. That shit was funny. I don't know if you guys see it. Check it out on IG. He put out a message on there talking about all you girls trying to think y'all gonna get something. He said the only girl he got was the dog. And this girl was laying in the bed with him. He's like, no, I'm serious. The dog. Oh man, you guys see it, pretty hilarious. But he's a good guy. You know, he got a lot of potential. He's still young. I forgot my man's name. I won't forget his name. Out of Georgia, up in Minnesota. So yeah, man, a lot of max deals, man. It's crazy. So these cats getting this money. But hey, get it, young player, get it. Like they always say, if they giving out these contracts for that much money, just imagine what these owners are getting.
Exactly. The
They
billions.
get all types of deals, people. Merchandise, TV rights. Hell, now they get sponsorship for everything from the jerseys to practice uniforms to even merchandise. Hey, stick a tag on there, pay us. Like that.
Did you hear about the NBA news with the Wemby? The Wembyama?
What about him?
Britney Spears tried to approach him in Las Vegas to take a picture with him.
Who did? Wait.
The security team.
Uh-huh.
Britney Spears tried to go over to Wemby to take a picture with him, and she touched his arm. And the security team.
Who touched his arm?
Britney Spears and his head of security, did like that to Britney.
Britney Spears?
Yes. She fell down, glasses knocked off and everything. The security team had to apologize immediately.
They didn't know who she was, huh?
They didn't know who she was. But that just happened.
Wow.
That's crazy.
That's crazy. You know what I mean? Hey, got to be careful out here. Got to be careful.
Get well soon, Brittany.
Got to be careful out here.
They didn't know who you were. Get well soon.
For all you guys out there knowing, the B-Side Podcast, happily sponsored by Black Storm Vodka. Black Storm Vodka, 6 times distilled vodka, so smooth, tasty, and it's founded by a black woman. Shout out to Keisha out there. So, Black Storm Vodka, go to blackstormvodka.com. Check out availability where you can pick it up. It's picking up fast. I know I've seen it in several liquor stores out here in Southern California, but Black Storm Vodka, proud sponsor of the B-Side Podcast. So also, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go through here and get some advertising, some things that we need to promote. Don't forget. Don't forget. Hold on. Don't forget. Yes, the B-Side is also going to be having its own little side factor. Bobby's Beat Daily. Be on the lookout. I know we got guests on here. Sometimes I can't express all the things and topics I want to discover, but Bobby Beats Daily is strictly one-on-one with me. I want to give you some of the topics that I want to talk to. Some of you going to be like, Bobby, what the hell are you talking about? But it's okay. It's Bobby Beats Daily. Look on for that. We working on some things here, so be on the lookout, for instance. Coming soon. It's going to come this month. Bobby's Beat Daily. Get the sound. Get your minds out together, ladies and gentlemen. All you out there is going to be a Beat Daily show. Probably about 15 to 30 minutes. Go over some topics, some hot things that, I like to discuss, and we'll go from there. But anyway, if you want to support the B-Side Podcast, go ahead and support us. Cash App, $ Robert Sellers, Venmo, Rob-Sellers4, and PayPal, BB Sales. Just drop my phone. But anyway, if you want to support the B-Side Podcast, please support us. $ Robert Sellers, Venmo, Rob-Sellers-4, and PayPal, BB Sales. Yes. Please support. We're trying to do some big things, man. Come on. We're going to, I'm slacking a little bit. We're going to get some more content out there. You know what I mean? But before we get up out of here, I know we discussed this before, but anyhow, episode of Knock It Off. Because people are always saying what we complain about, because there's some things going on here that make you say, don't get me on this, Arsenio. Anyway, former Florida quarterback reaches a plea deal on felony charge. If you don't know, if you haven't known, Jalen Kitna, former quarterback, University of Florida football team, will be charged with 2 counts of breach of peace stemming from his arrest for child pornography in late November 2022, according to the Orlando Sentinel. The plea deal reduces charges from 5 felony child porno counts to just 2 second-degree misdemeanors. Yes. Now, with this, the 8th Judicial Circuit Judge, Susan Miller-Jones, gave Kitna 6 months of probation for each count without issuing fines or requiring the 20-year-old to register as a sex offender. Now, look like he was a member of the Gators back in 2021 at University of Florida, recruiting class as son of former NFL quarterback Jon Kitna, who played 14 seasons, National Football League, splits between Seattle Seahawks, Bengals, Lions, Cowboys, and retired in 2011. I didn't know that was the son of Jon Kitna. Oh, shit. Damn, didn't even know that. But anyhow, some things stay the same. Some things remain the same.
And it's just,
I don't wish harm on nobody, but come on, you shouldn't be caught up in cases like this. And then he gets a slap on the wrist, knowing if that was somebody else, if any of the draft picks, anybody else, the new quarterback from Ohio State, Alabama, or the new Florida quarterback that got drafted by Indiana, we already know what the things were. We already see what Deshaun Watson went through. Cleveland. Yeah.
well, wasn't that the same state that gave Jeffrey Epstein a soft sentence? He got caught with actual, corruption of a minor. And I believe he got, 12 months? When he should have got like 15 years. So,
Florida, right?
Influence, yeah, Florida.
You sure you didn't live in Florida? Are you not? Were you ever a resident?
Hey, you live in Ohio. Ohio's about what with Florida. Ohio's just Florida with farms.
We're going there. We're going there. Should we talk about
Texas?
Should we talk about your bluegrass heritage?
Texas.
Your bluegrass heritage.
Which one? Which Kentucky?
Oh, there it is.
Hey, there's a lot of great people from Kentucky. Johnny Depp, George Clooney.
Johnny Depp's from Kentucky.
Kentucky is. Yeah, he's from Kentucky.
Didn't know that. Did not know that. Did not know that. Wow. Unbelievable. But anyway, hate to end on a sour note, but hey, we got to get things out there because that's definitely knock it off. Come on, Judge. Anyway, thanks for tuning in. Once again, great show. Thank you, G. Diddy, coming in.
Thank you.
Thank you, man. Short notice, I know, but we're going to work it out. Get better, and do things bigger. So, give us your handle, G. Diddy, where people can check you out at.
All right, if you go on Instagram, you can look up Midnight More and you'll find me. If you go on Twitter and look up something, you'll find me because I don't even go on Twitter. If you go on Facebook and look up the coolest motherfucker.
What about Threads?
Threads, I need to get on that Threads, and my sister told me about something called Spills today or whatever. I don't know, one of these new social media, whatever. But yeah, Spills, Threads, the new Twitter killer. But come and join me in this new hip hop influence fan base. That's what is it, Isaac Hayes Jr.'s platform. Okay, and come and join me in this new hip hop influence GOP because Democrats, they were founded by Andrew Jackson, and the Klan was like the military wing for a time.
All right, yes, thank you. Well, anyway, you know where you can find us at. You go to bsidepodcast.com, bsidepodcast.com. Obviously, we're still on Twitter. You can go to B-Side Podcast with 2. B-Side Podcast number 2. Now you can check us out on IG, B-Side Podcast Q, the B-Side Podcast Q. Now, obviously, we do have a foundation. You can go to thesellersfoundation.com. Also, if you want to check me out, you can go to ARSales2 on IG, ARSales2 on IG. Also, on Threads on ARSales2 as well. Also, Twitter, go to @Rob_B_Sales, @Rob_B_Sales. Also, we do have gear. AlecRoberts.com. You can go to AlecRoberts.com. Check out some of the gear merchandise we have there. On IG, we're at Alec Roberts as well. So with that in mind, if there's anything else, hey, thanks again for tuning in. And hey, we always have a good time here. Always. And without further ado, let me get this off the screen here. Where's my IG? Where is it? I just saw it. But anyhow, before we get up out of here, thanks again. Thanks for tuning in. And hey, catch you guys later. Peace.
Later. So Bobby, so you said DeSantis 2024, right?
Hey man, watch yourself. Hey, hold on real quick. Hey, before you get off, all right? Hold on real quick.
All right.